says, "Umeratzvim eschol azara, v'avonim yikoris." That means that the Beis Hamikdash was built on a mountain. The mountain has earth on it, so the floors were everything earth. So now he's saying that they put tiles on the floor. That's what it means over there. In our language over here, he's saying stones, but tiles are really stones. I mean, there's more expensive tiles. That's all different grades of tiles. So he says that you cover the floor b'avonim yikoros with expensive stones. V'im nekra evan, if a stone got uprooted, they're placed on the floor. So if the apapi shehi omedes b'mkayma, even if it stays on its place. In other words, just like when you lay tiles today, they put like a glue to hold the tile down. So the summer they had also that time some type of a glue that they had that held the tile down. Now what happens? He says, if the tile became loosened, the sewer. So once it got spoiled, and it got spoiled, it got loose. It came out of place. Is sewer is possible. V'asur kayin ha'oived lamed oleh b'shas ha'avodah ad shetiboka ba'aretz. Actually, to cover ba'aretz, it will be set back in the ground. Okay, a simple din, but you notice over here there's again a Ravid. The Ravid usually writes a comment on the Rambam where he disagrees with the Rambam. So what does the Ravid want of it? Let's look inside. Amr Avram. Oid Amru, it was said even more. She'im nekra ha'evan v'omer ha'kayin v'omer b'mkayma ein lo derech sheides. He's saying, according to the Rambam, if you look at the words of the Rambam, it says that it's also to the Kohen to do the avodah there, right? Now what happens if he did the avodah? If he did, so what's the din? According to Rambam is mashma that it's also to do it, but if he did it, the avodah is kosher. Because the Rambam doesn't say that if he did the avodah over there, so it's possible. Right? So comes on the Rav and says, there's something more than what the Rambam says. And he brings a din that if the stone, look at the words again, Amavram, Oid Amrud, it will say even more, that She'im Neka Ha'evan, if the stone was ripped off, V'amad Ha'kayin V'avad B'mkayma, on the place where the stone, and attached up the guma in the hole, because the floor, the stone fills the hole. So ein derech sheides bekach. Now if it's not derech sheides, so then it's possible. So you're having a machlokas the Rambam and the Ravid. But the truth is there's no machlokas the Rambam and Ravid. They're talking about two different things. The Rambam is talking that the stone got loose, and he stood on the loose stone. So he's not standing in the guma. He's standing on the loose stone, but the stone is not connected to the ground. The question is, you can ask, is the stone maybe a chatzitza? If it's not connected to the ground, maybe it's a chatzitza. But that doesn't pass with avodah. But the Raiva is talking that the stone was uprooted, and there's a hole over there, and they didn't replace the stone, they didn't set it back, and he stood and he worked on the ground. So It's not on the floor of the Beis HaMikdash. That must be not that of Shavis, and it'd be possible. Okay.
Wow, it's a very big difference.
I know it's a very big difference. That's what I'm saying. It's not really. The Rambam is not talking in what the Ravid is saying. It's not talking about the same type of a scenario. U'mitzvah min ha'muvcha l'chazek es habinyan. In other words, when you say mitzvah muvcha, means that the best way to do the mitzvah is l'chazek es habinyan, to fortify the house, u'ha'gbiyai, and to raise it higher, kifi kayach hatzibur, according to what the tzibur could afford. I mean, if the tzibur can't afford, then there's no chiyuv to do it. But we're talking according to the means of the tzibur. That's how they have to make it. It can't require the tzibur to do something that they can't do. Shenama, because the pasuk says, "U'roimim beis Elokeinu," that we should elevate our God's home.
But who said it has to do with begashmis? Learning means to pick up, to make it nicer, to make it.
Also, he says, "Look weiter, u'farin oisai," and to beautify it. U'miyapin kifi kaicha. Kachon, they beautify it according to im yichayim tuach oisa bezov. If you could smear all the walls with gold, ulahagdo v'maisov, harei a mitzvah. That's a mitzvah. In other words, this what's shot harei a mitzvah. Harei a mitzvah means that like as a chelik for zakelu b'aveil. Zakelu b'aveil is a chelik in the mitzvah. There's always a question. What does it mean that zakelu b'aveil? Gemara say the Gemara gives them esrog noah. So if you buy a nice esrog, it's not that there's the mitzvah of esrog, and there's a separate mitzvah to have a beautiful esrog. That's a separate mitzvah. The same thing over here also. There's a mitzvah to build a Beis HaMikdash, and there's a mitzvah to make it beautiful. If according to what you could afford, that's how you make it beautiful.
You see the old shuls. If you look at the old shuls in Europe,
yeah,
they were built in a very nice.
Of course, they're all. Well, there's pictures of the old shuls. Now in Russia, they're restoring a lot of these old shuls. That they're restoring them, mamish, to be like they were made that way. It's a whole just havdil. People in Park Slope also restore houses to not to make it fancy up modern, but to restore it to the way it was in the mall. Nachadin sagt der Rambam, ein Beinen is a Mikdash Balayla. You don't work at night in the Beis HaMikdash, in the building. Shenama, u'biyayim hakam es ha-mishkan. So we take from this pasuk, biyayim hakam es ha-mishkan, we say that biyayim hakim u'balayla, that the construction of the Mishkan, the Mikdash is done during the day. V'oiskin b'binyan me'alois ha-shacha at seisek ha-chavim. And you're involved in the construction. Alois ha-shacha is when the earliest light begins to show. Alois ha-shacha means that the morning is coming up. At seisek ha-chavim. Now, the chiddush over here in the Rambam is, there's a question. Normally, we say the day goes like from Netzach Hama till the Shkia. When we count the day, now how do we count we count the hours of the day? How do we count the hours of the day? We count from Netzach Hama till the Shkia. So why could that? Because before Netzach Hama it's not yet very light, and after Shkia, it's getting a little bit dark. The chiddush over here is that when it comes to the Rama, we get the maximum amount of time. The maximum amount of time starts from Elois HaShachar till Tzedek HaChavim, including the Shkia. Even if during the Shkia, to keep working. Then the Rambam says, "V'hakach hayovim livnais v'lisayid ba'atzmam u'b'mamayim anoshim v'noshim k'mikdash hamidbar." Rambam says like that. We know there's a pasuk in Chumash by the Mishkan that the women they spun the wool on it was a special type of thing to do. While the wool was on the animals, they spun it. Not usually, what you have to take off the wool, and then you clean it and everything, and then you have bunches. So then you have to make it into threads. It's a whole avodah. And the ladies by the Mishkan, they were so skillful that they were able to make thread while it was on. So we see that the ladies were good. There's also a pasuk that says "Vatavayna hanoshim ala hanoshim," that the women came even more than the men, or together with the men. Depends how you want to touch the pasuk. But either way you want to touch it, it's telling you that the women were involved. So he's saying over here now that the women are involved in the binyan. He's saying in the binyan, like by the Mishkan, just like by the Mishkan. What does the Rama want to give you? What does he mean with this example? He's telling you they were involved, just like by the Mishkan. What's he need an example? Because the emes is, there's a stir in the Rambam here. We have a rule that mitzvah sessions as man groma noshma peturas. A mitzvah that's connected with time, women are potter. No mashal. Let's say tzitzis. Tzitzis is a ksus laila is potter from tzitzis. So therefore, tzitzis is considered a mitzvah sessions as man groma. It has a stricter time. If it has a stricter time, noshma peturas. Why that is, there's different reasons. Some say a reason because the women are busy with taking care of the needs of the family. They're busy with taking care of the needs of the husband. So the title was lenient with them. That's what someone will say. ILS, what if someone is not married? But that makes no difference. Once the idea is so all women are potter. The Rambam says that you don't build a Beis Hamikdash at night. If you don't build a Beis Hamikdash at night, it's a mitzvah as mangrama. If it's a mitzvah as mangrama, so why is not shachayavas? So the Teretz says the Rambam is actually answering that kasha with these words. There's two parts to the Beis Hamikdash. One part of the Beis Hamikdash is building the Beis Hamikdash, constructing, and one part of it is contributing to it. So we're saying that men and women have to contribute to the mikdash. Like the women could donate, maybe not big amounts. There's a whole shaila for women could give big donations because the question is it's the husband's money. You know that we're not going into that halacha now. And then there's the construction. The construction work was done by the men. The men it's heavy labor. Heavy labor. Today is going on. Today when you walk on the street and you see a crew working, there's maybe a lady or two also among them all. That's today because our unions, the equality, they have their laws. But normal heavy work is done by men.
So
Rambam says, "L'sayid be'atzmon livnois, l'sayid be'atzmon." Noshim v'noshim.
Yeah.
It goes on everything. Not only on the lady, also on.
So the livnos means to prepare material. To prepare material for that you need, like I gave, like by the Mishkan, they prepare the wool for the material.
So they kol chayavim l'sayid ba'asmam. So that everybody means the men. The ladies. Only the minam.
Ba'atzmam, u'b'mayim, and with their money.
You're saying it's only the money that the
No, I'm saying that the Rambam before said that you don't build at night.
Right. So how do you build?
If you don't build at night, it's a mitzvah shesman grama.
Right.
So what's the chiyuv of the woman?
Right.
So I'm saying the chiyuv of the woman is not in actual construction. It's like donating to the construction or making things that are needed. Like let's say if they need a wool, they can make the wool. But when it comes to put up the stones and everything, that the mendel, that's what the Rambam means over there. Then the Rambam says, "Ve'ein mevatlen tinek isha beisabim lebinyan." Tinek isha beisabim lebinyan. That you can't be Pasha the Taich is that you can't take children to work. So chayda, there's a question over here. You know, in America it's called child labor. You know, so why do you have to tell her that you can't have children to work? I mean, you're talking about heavy construction. How do children, usually when a heavy construction place, they don't even let children get near over there. Because children can get hurt, you know. So what was it I'm telling you that Emil Bartlett? So the pshat is, he's talking about the teachers. That is, if the teachers mechuyev to build a Beis HaMikdash, so then you have to close the school, right? So he's saying that you can't be mevatel. That those who are teaching the children should continue teaching. They should continue doing their studies, and you have to build a Beis HaMikdash. They'll find other workers. That's one shot in the Rambam.
That means that learning Torah is bigger than building the Beis HaMikdash.
Right.
Wow.
And then the Rambam concludes, Ve'ein binyan beis hamikdash deicha yontav. It's not deicha yontav. The question is, in the Beis HaMikdash, they worked on yontav. They made kabbanis on yontav and everything. So you're allowed to work. You're allowed to do mulacha on yontav in the Beis HaMikdash. So why is it not binyan? Why can't you build a Beis HaMikdash? The kabbanis you made on yontav, you did the shechting and everything, and say, but you can't build. So the teretz that they want to say is because the Beis HaMikdash in itself is a hechsher mitzvah. In other words, it's made in order to have a place of Beis HaMikdash. The matter is, once you have the Beis HaMikdash, you gotta avoid in the Beis HaMikdash. You can be mechal yontav, but to build it, being that's only a hechsher mitzvah, it's a mitzvah, no question about it. But it's like a Moshe, let's say, there's dinim, let's say, by Mila b'Shabbos. There's dinim that, or yontav, there's certain dinim that you can't prepare certain things for the bris before on yontav guf. You have to prepare what? The etzem bris is like achil yontav. So why can't you prepare? Tadasukah, that's Hechshem mitzvah. Those things are necessary, but it's all a preparation for the mitzvah, but not the actual ideal of the mitzvah.
That's why you got to make a mitzvah bris on Shabbos, right?
Right.
Because it's an eighth day.
Because Sheba Yom HaShmini.
If he's missing a knife and he sharpened the knife, they go sharpens the knife. No,
you can't do it on Shabbos. You have to do it before Shabbos. The whole Pedic himself to Shabbos. Rabbi Eliezer the Migo. Hamizbeach ein oisen oisoi elo binyan avonim gozes. That you should make it the Mizbeach. What?
The word gozes is a
I didn't. What?
No, he's saying God. The word "gaz" is a mistake in the it's a Torah.
Right. So that's what I wanted to say. So what does it mean? Avonim gozes, chopped stones. So they take out the word over here, and it has to be the word just a binyan avonim. That means that this in the Beis Hamikdash, there were two mizbachos. There was one mizbach that was in the Azorah. That's like what we called when we called the front yard, the Azorah. And there's one mizbeach that was in the heichal. The heichal is the three compartments. So in the middle compartment, which is called the kodesh, in that part there was a mizbeach. The mizbeach that was inside was called Mizbeach Hazov. Mizbeach Hazov was made from wood, and it was covered with gold. Now the Rambam is saying, he's not talking about Mizbeach Hazov, he's talking about the Mizbeach HaChitzon, Mizbeach on the outside. So he said the Mizbeach on the outside was made from stone. Okay? We're going to learn later the whole cheshbon, how they built it and the size and all, but with Pile, it was made from stone. So that's what he's saying over here, that on Mizbeach, ein oisen oisoi, ela binyan avonim. You make it from stone. Shenama matayre, shaitan post. Bezesh, effect Rambam Kasha. I just told you that the Mizbeach should be from stone. In Posuk steht doch anders. In Posuk steht, Mizbach Adama Tasali. So Mizbach Adama Tasali means to say you should take earth and gather the earth together and form it and make a Mizbeach. So why am I telling you stone? Zok the Rambam, what's the title of the Pasuk Mizbach Adama Tasali? It means Sheyeh Mechuber Ba'adama. It should be connected to the ground. It has to stand on the ground. So it's called Mizbach Adama because it's connected to the ground. And therefore he says, Shaloi, what does it mean connected to the ground? What is the extent of the connection? He says, Shaloi Yivnu, Lo Yagabi Kipim, Lo Yagabi Mechilos. That you can't make the Mizbeach up in the air, so to say. You know, you'll make like a keep means that you'll make like a dome and put the Mizbeach on it. Can't do that. It has to be, it's made from stone, but the stone has to be connected to the ground. Okay, we'll stop over here.